see him not struggling, like not suffering. He was like just basically like it was like we were hang on a sec. It was like we were just there's a moment where I think I can think back to when I was 18, I went traveling to Australia and my dad flew out and he was clean for the first time in a long time. And he flew out to see me. We spent 3 weeks together and it was just like that first time we connected and just seeing his eyes, like not using and just actually like looking at me and talking and like sort of seeing me be happy and seeing him be happy. Hang on.
Oh, Joe.
Sorry, hang on. That was a really lovely, it's all right. It was a really lovely moment. Like it's a really lovely time. I remember just thinking like, this is what it should be like when you have a dad sort of thing. So
Yeah.
we had a wicked time in Australia and that kind of built up the bridges, I think. And then I just sort of like loved him a lot because he was
trying.
He was just funny. Yeah, it's just like funny to be around him and to see him not struggling, like not suffering. He was like just basically like it was like we were hang on a sec. It was like we were just
It's okay.
I'll get over this in a sec. Once I let it out, I'll bounce back.
You don't have to
basically
bounce back.
I just remember like it's like we were like backpacking together. It was hilarious and we were like going to we like lived in a hostel and it's just fun. Like just so that was a big moment for me to sort of like accept him, I suppose, for
Joe, you're an amazing
I can't get this out.
You don't have to.
I haven't talked like this for a while. But yeah, it was just like that was an important moment because then I accepted like the past, we're having fun, we're here now, this is like so much fun. And then when I came back, I just think, he just got back into the fellowship and was going to meetings and he stayed clean for a few years. But there's definitely relapses along the way. But again, rather than be like, oh, I can't stand this, I hate you, like I would just be like, right, come on, I love you, bro. Like, not bro. I do call him brother. We call each other brother. Say, I love you, bro. Like, what's going on? Let's get together and, get back to human connection again. So I've let it out now. Feels good to cry. It does feel good to cry. I feel a bit lighter now.
It's an expression of your love.
But yeah, you kept digging and digging. I thought eventually something's going to break me. But that was such a positive memory. So yeah, I'd say that was the moment where like we really formed a friendship. And now today, we have something in common. We love motorbikes. So every year we go on a little motorbike trip together and, just like me and my little brother George and my dad. And we're creating memories that are so special that I don't look back angry and resentful because what's the point? Like I talk a lot about my mum being like kind of the positive energy in my life, but I took so much from my dad's experience. I didn't experiment with drugs. I was so frightened of the consequences that I've learned a lot, just as much from my dad probably as I am from my mum,
They must be so proud of you. Are you aware that they are proud of you?
Well, I am, because my mum's very needy and she's very loving and she has to tell me every day how much she loves me. So she'll either WhatsApp me or send me a message saying that she's so proud. And, even today with the book coming out, she's just like, I'm so proud of you. And it's nice to hear that because, like I said, we weren't expected to become anything. We were just a family of, wrong-uns. I always say the word wrong-uns because I felt like we were the wrong-uns, even amongst the council estate, we were the ones that you just wouldn't want to be around, because it was just madness and slamming and doors and shouting and swearing. And, I was probably a bit naughty and stuff. And so you wouldn't look at me and think that boy's going to go on to do something great and like be amazing and help loads of people. It just wasn't even in like my atmosphere to dream of anything like that. So, yeah, they are proud. My mum and dad are proud. And I think we're all quite a sensitive, emotional bunch. We cry a lot, My dad not so much, but my mum and my mum will cry a lot, and I think that's made me quite sensitive as well, I think.
Yeah. The one thing that always comes out whenever I've read or watched an interview with you is that your childhood was chaotic in many ways, but it was filled with love, and you haven't ever doubted that you are loved.
Yeah. So the absence of love, from all the research and all the kind of podcasts I listen to, like the biggest factor in a child's development is love, right? So if there's absence of love and neglect and you're not, told that you're valuable, appreciated and loved, that's where childhood trauma comes from. And that's what happened to my mum and dad. Like my mum's dad left her when she was a baby. She ended up in a care home. Her mum was very tough on her and she was always lacking love. And my dad in the same way, his father ran away, moved to America, had loads of kids with another woman, and he never told my dad he loved him until he was dying on his deathbed once. Wow. And I imagine how hard that is, because what's more important in life? It's not like, oh, look at the job I've got, mum, or look how much money I've made. It's like, no, it's like, did your mum and dad love you? We're always seeking that validation, probably more from them than anyone ever, right? And so I think, I did always feel loved, even though the family was like unstable, and it was like a bit like, what's happening next? I still knew my mum and dad loved me. And if they had a massive row and she said, you know, he's going, I'm not having him here, it's only because she didn't want us to be around it. She didn't want us to be around it, but she'd always let him back because she always wanted us to have a dad because she didn't have a dad. So for 20 years, back and forth, I'll take him back, I'll give him another go, but it's really hard when you're living with an addict. I think having the love is what kept me stable, and it made me so grounded, because I do think without that, you can really feel quite lost in the world if you feel like your mum and dad didn't love you or want you around.
Thanks for tuning in. And if you found this video enjoyable, be sure to check out the full episode on your preferred podcast platform. And make sure you're following How to Fail on social media for additional content and updates.